ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أجرني وإياكم من النار ثم أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Azza wa Jalla who has prolonged our life up to this moment. We pray Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He continue to bless us. May Allah Azza wa Jalla accept all of our ibadat in this month of Ramadan. Today being the 15th day of the month of Ramadan, 1445 years after the hijrah of our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Makkah to Medina, which correspond to the 25th of March, year 2024. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, all that we have been learning, may Allah Azza wa Jalla write it in our Mizan or Hasanat. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla forgive our mistakes wherever we might have gone wrong during the course of the Tafseer. We are still reading Suratul Ahzab. Suratul Ahzab is the 33rd chapter of the glorious Quran. And in it, we have been discussing a lot of issues that is contained in this surah. Remember, I mentioned in the beginning that this surah has to do with how the society is supposed to be set up. That is why anything we are going to be discussing in this surah, because it's a Medinan surah, so it is going to be telling us how we should lead our life. Unlike the Meccan surah that is only discussing on the issue of what ubudiyah, that is the issue of tawheed. So as for this one, it is discussing the details of how we should lead our life. And yesterday we mentioned those people who are truthful to their statement, who were fulfilling their pledge, the covenant they had with Allah Azza wa Jal. Some of them were able to fulfill it, while some were still waiting and they never changed a bit. وَمَا بَدَّلُوا تَبِدِيلًا. Unlike the munafiqun who broke their trust, they ran away from the battlefield. Not only do they do that, they now break the covenant between them and Allah's messenger. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, He told us about He praises the believers in the fact that they were true to their words. And we also mentioned yesterday the different kinds of shaheed, the shuhada, those who die in the path of Allah. We said there are those who will only be considered in this dunya as shaheed, while there are those who Allah Azza wa Jalla will consider them as shaheed in the akhirah, but not shaheed in this dunya. Bimana, the ahkam of shaheed will not be observed on them, while the third category is the one who will be considered as shaheed in this dunya and shaheed in the hereafter. I mentioned that yesterday. If you cannot remember, go to the lecture of yesterday and listen to it. Then we could not finish the verse that complete that particular matter yesterday, because today we want to talk about jihad. Since this particular surah has been revolving around the issue of jihad, so that we will not begin to take the wrong understanding of what jihad is all about, it is very, very necessary that we talk about jihad, because we see today a lot of misinterpretation, misconception regarding this concept of al-jihad in Islam, which a lot of people had made mistakes on this particular concept, and some have even said that there is nothing like jihad anymore. So inshallah ta'ala, if Allah give us the grace of time, we shall be discussing the concept of jihad today. But before then, let's complete the verse. لِيَجْزِيَ اللَّهُ
الصَّادِقِينَ بِصِدْقِهِمْ وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ إِن شَاءَ أَوْ يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ إن الله كان غفورا رحيما.
Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said, the reason why Allah Azza wa Jalla make all of this to happen, the munafiqun, all the action they did, and also the believers, all the action they also portray in this particular battle, لِيَجْزِيَ اللَّهُ الصَّادِقِينَ بِصِدْقِهِمْ. All is so that Allah Azza wa Jalla will reward those who are truthful as a result of their what? Truthfulness. وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ, and so that Allah Azza wa Jalla may punish the hypocrites. In sha'a aw yatuba alayhim. If Allah Azza wa Jalla wish, He will punish them. Aw yatuba alayhim. Or if Allah Azza wa Jalla wishes, He forgives them. Inna Allah kana ghafuran rahima. Certainly Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is forgiving, and Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is merciful. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, what does this verse mean? Waqa'a ma waqa'a min wafa'il mu'minin. What happened had happened regarding the fact that the believers were able to fulfill bima ahadullah alayh, that which they have agreed between them and Allah Azza wa Jal. Wa naqada al munafiqina, and the munafiqun, they break their promise li'ajli an yajzi Allahu as-sadiqina bil ajr al-azim wa sawab al-jazim. All of this is so that Allah Azza wa Jalla will reward those who are truthful with a great reward. A very bountiful reward. What is that great reward? Jannah. A great reward that Allah Azza wa Jalla gives to His servant is for Him to grant you Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He grant us Jannah. So Allah Azza wa Jalla wishes to reward those who are truthful bisidikihim, bisababi sidikihim, as a result of their truthfulness, in the fact that they were able to fulfill their what? Their pledge. And they were doing righteous work. Wal jihadu fi sabilihi, and they were performing jihad in the path of Allah. Just like Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in another verse, قال الله هذا يوم
الله هذا يوم ينفع الصادقين بصدقهم لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك الفوز العظيم.
Allah Azza wa Jalla in Suratul Ma'idah verse 119, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, هذا يوم ينفع الصادقين صدقهم, that on this particular day, those who are truthful with Allah, those who are honest with Allah, they are going to benefit in their truthfulness, in their honesty, in their sincerity. Lahum jannatun tajri min tahtiha al-anhar. Allah Azza wa Jalla will grant them jannat. Allah will grant them paradise. May Allah grant us paradise. Amen. Beneath it, different kinds of river flows beneath it. Khalidina fiha abadan. They will abide therein forever and ever. Radiyallahu anhum. Allah will be pleased with them. Waradu anhu. And they will be pleased with Allah Azza wa Jal. Zalikal fawzul azim. And that is a great and mighty reward. A great success. So وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ أي وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ بِالنَّارِ, so that Allah Azza wa Jalla may punish those who are the hypocrite with what? With hellfire. Why? بِسَبَبِ نِفَاقِهِمْ وَكُفْرِهِمْ, because of their nifaq, because of their hypocrisy, because of their disbelief. وَنَقْضِهِمْ مَا أَهَدُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ, and as a result of the fact that they broke the promise they had with Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Insha'a, if Allah wish, ta'zibuhum, Allah will punish them. You understand? What it means that if Allah wish, He will punish them, means if Allah wish, they will die upon what? They will die upon nifaq. And anyone who die upon nifaq, there is no doubt that he is going to be punished, and he will be at the pit, at the bottom pit of hellfire. Innal munafiqina fi darkil asfali minan nar. Allah Azza wa Jalla said that certainly the munafiqun, they are going to be at the deepest part of hellfire. May Allah Azza wa Jalla protect us from the fire. Aw yatuba alayhi. If Allah Azza wa Jalla also wishes, then He will forgive them. What it means is what? Bi an yuwaffiquhum lil iman wa tawbah. Allah Azza wa Jalla will direct them after they have done all this, their nifaq. Allah will now make them to repent. They will now cause them to what? To have sincere iman, to repent to Allah Azza wa Jalla, and to become a sincere believer. So for that reason, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He may choose to what? Forgive them. Wal amalu salih, and they will now begin to do righteous work. For that reason, fayusibuhum, Allah Azza wa Jalla will now reward them with their good action thereafter. Wala yu'azzibuhum, and Allah will not punish them. So because they later repented from their nifaq, Allah Azza wa Jalla forgive them, and He, instead of punishing them, He even reward them. أن الله عز وجل قدر ما قدر من هذا الابتلاء والامتحان والزلزال لتمهيز الصادقين من المنافقين. Allah Azza wa Jalla allowed what happened in the battle of Khandaq to happen, of different tests that Allah tested the believers and even the munafiqun, in order to test those who are truthful from those who are actually liars, so that He will reward those who are truthful bisababi sidqihim, as a result of their truthfulness, as a result of their iman, wa tu'adhibul munafiqin, and so that Allah Azza wa Jalla will punish those who are munafiqun bisababi nifaqihim, as a result of their nifaq, wa kufrihim, and as a result of their kufr, wa naqdihim ahdullah, and as a result of the fact that they broke the promise they had with Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in another verse, ما كان الله ليذر المؤمنين على ما أنتم عليه حتى يميز الخبيث من الطيب وما كان الله ليطلعكم على الغيب. Allah Azza wa Jalla said that He never leave the believers upon what they are upon until He is able. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He will what? Yamiz al-Habis. He will be able to separate. He will separate the goodness, those who are good, from the shaft. He will separate those who are what? Who are filth, who are impure, from those who are pure. Allah Azza wa Jalla will continue to test the believers so that He can what? Separate those who are munafiqun away from them. So Allah may bring tests, and some may not pass the test. They will shift. You see somebody who has been a Muslim, not only Muslim, Ahlul Sunnah, putting on hijab and even niqab. You ask after a while, where is that sister? They said she is now going to church. What happened? Because she had problem of sickness. So Allah Azza wa Jalla will continue to bring tests so that they will separate those who are actually real and those who are fake among the Muslims. Inna Allah Ghafurur Rahim. Indeed, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is Inna Allah kana Ghafurur Rahima. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is ever forgiving and He is merciful. Meaning Allah Azza wa Jalla, His forgiveness is very, very wide. Yasturu zunubu ibadihi anil hulq. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He covers the fault of His servant. Wa yatajawaz anhum. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He will pardon them. Unlike human being who is always interested to see your fault. But Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He sees your fault, He covers it. He loves to cover your fault for you. And Allah Azza wa Jalla, He will not punish you because He has covered it for you. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in a hadith Qudsi of Ibn Umar, say, Ana satartuha alayk. Allah Azza wa Jalla, on the day of Qiyamah, the servant will come. He will be shocked that what about all those sins that he used to commit? He could not see it in his slate. Allah Azza wa Jalla will call him. Only him and Allah. Allah will tell him that I have already covered this sin for you. That time that you were misbehaving, I covered the sin for you. At that time that you raised your hand that Allah should forgive you, I forgave you and I covered it for you. I did not allow people to know. The sin that we commit secretly, if Allah were to expose it, nobody will respect us anymore. Nobody will respect. Say, Even malema, even mala, you understand? But Allah Azza wa Jalla, He covered it for us. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla, Zal Maghfirah, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He loves to forgive. Wa ana aghfiru alaka al-yawm. Allah said, on this day, I have forgiven you. Rahima, Allah Azza wa Jalla is also merciful. His mercy is so wide. The mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla is His description. Is His description. And Allah Azza wa Jalla shows mercy to His servant, to whomever He wills from His servant. Yu'azzibu man yasha wa yarham man yasha. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He punishes whoever He wills and He shows mercy to whomever He wills. But the mercifulness of Allah, the forgiveness of Allah Azza wa Jalla, wafaqa man sha'a min ha'ula'i al-munafiqina lit-tawbah. It will only go in line with those whom He wills. From this munafiqun, in the sense that Allah will cause them to what? To do tawbah. Allah will accept their tawbah from them, and by that they will enter Jannah even after their nifaq. In this particular verse, we have seen that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He is encouraging the munafiqun that despite what you have done, you can still seek tawbah and I will forgive you. So even somebody who happen to be a munafiq, he can do istighfar and Allah will forgive him. Allah forgives all sin, even including nifaq, even including shirk. Allah forgives every sin, no sin except that Allah forgives. Inna Allah yakfiru zunuba jami'a. Allah forgives every kind of sin, even including nifaq. So if you happen to be a munafiq before, you are living among the Muslims, you still have a chance before you die. Accept the real Islam and be sincere to Allah. Be honest in your religion. Don't be doing mago so that whenever you did not see the Muslims, you will now turn to be a kafiri. When you now see the Muslim, you are now a Muslim. So Allah Azza wa Jalla wants to forgive. Look at a munafiq who is a traitor. A traitor who is a plotter, a deceiver. But despite that, Allah said He will forgive them if they seek forgiveness. This is an evidence that the mercy of Allah is so wide that it precedes His anger. The mercy of Allah precedes His anger. Unlike us, our own anger precedes our what? Our mercifulness. You hardly see a human being who is merciful. Especially when you have power, you want to what? Suppress everybody so that they will know that you have authority. You can do and undo. May Allah Azza wa Jalla, may He make us humble. وَلِهَذَا أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ يُعَذَّبُونَ أَوْلِيَاءَهُ وَيُحَرِّقُونَ بِالنَّارِ. These are the people who used to what? Despite all the sins they used to commit, in the fact that they used to punish the friends of Allah. Not only that, they will even burn. They are burning the servants of Allah. Look at everything that the Yahudi people are doing today against the Palestine. If they seek forgiveness from Allah today, Allah will forgive them. Despite all the atrocities that they have committed. If they seek forgiveness from Allah today, Allah will forgive them. Despite all what they have done. But what about us? If somebody were to hurt us, he becomes an everlasting enemy. Even if he seek forgiveness from you, you say, I don't want your forgiveness. I will not forgive. I will never forgive you. Like, is that not what we used to do? But Allah Azza wa Jalla, no matter what, He will forgive you. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Innal ladhina fatanu al-mu'minina wal-mu'minati thumma lam yatubu falahum adhabu jahannam wa lahum adhabul hariq. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, as for those people who are causing fitna, they want to make the Muslim to disbelieve after they are believing, by them punishing them. If they did not seek tawbah, Allah said He is going to punish them in Jahannam. It thereby means that if they seek tawbah, Allah will not punish them. That's what it means. Is that not so? It means that if they seek tawbah, Allah will not punish them and Allah will not burn them in hellfire. Even the ones who say that Allah is one and three or three in one, in Allah salisu salasa. If they should seek forgiveness today, Allah will forgive them. So the forgiveness of Allah Azza wa Jalla is great. The mercy of Allah, the forgiveness of Allah is present at any time. So this is an evidence that Allah Azza wa Jalla loves to forgive more than He loves to what? Punish. Unlike what some people believe, that Allah is talking about punishment all the time. Who told you? Go to the Quran. Allah's mercy. Allah mentioned his mercy so many times more than his what? More than his anger. But that does not also mean that you now take the advantage of the mercy of Allah and begin to misbehave. Allah Azza wa Jalla Shadidul Iqab, Shadidul Azab. Allah Azza wa Jalla is also severe in punishment. So do not what? Begin to relax. That after all, Allah is forgiving and merciful, so I cannot do anything I want to do. Somebody said, I will go and commit sin. After I commit sin, then I will now come and do Astaghfirullah. If you like do Astaghfirullah 1,000 times, Allah Azza wa Jalla will not respond to that Astaghfirullah because it's not sincere. Now, that is where we were supposed to stop yesterday, and I've already mentioned before today that we want to talk about jihad. Because if you notice, ever since the beginning of this verse, we've been talking about jihad because of the battle of Handak that happened here. And some people may understood it in the wrong way, that what we are actually saying is, okay, look at what happened, let us go and also replicate, you know, so that we can put ourselves in the right direction. So that we can also understand the reality of jihad, because these are topics that many people have shunned from discussing today. Unfortunately, many people have shunned discussing today, and unfortunately, people now took the wrong understanding as a result of unavailability of the right discussion. So that is why I've always been of the belief that there shouldn't be any part of Islam that should not be discussed. It should be discussed. You should have the enlightenment. I was in a car one day coming from Duse, coming to Kubwa here, and I met a pastor inside moto. So when he saw me, he thought he saw this Megemu, you know. They thought he saw this maybe Merua or Merike, who do not even understand English. Turenchi. You understand? So he begins to lie inside the motor. That was when Buhari was the president, and he said that Buhari has gone to Turkey to register Nigeria into Islamic State. That he has gone to Turkey to register Nigeria into Islamic State. Now they want to bring what? Jihad. They want to bring jihad into Nigeria. And what jihad means is that anybody who is not a Muslim, they should kill the person. All of them inside the motor were like, why would you do that? That man is a jihadist. That man is this and that. Buhari, that we did not even accept him ourselves to be anything. They are saying that Buhari will have time for Islam. So he want to go and register in Nigeria, a whole Nigeria. When Osibanjo is there, he will not tell Osibanjo, I am coming, you know you are my vice president. I want to go and register Nigeria into, and Osibanjo will say, no problem, be going. But he was saying that he never knew that he's not Aboki that is inside Motu. After he has finished lying, I said, why are you lying like this? And you claim to be a pastor. He was shocked. He was in the front, I was at the back. I said, you are a liar. It is this kind of you that is causing problem in Nigeria. It is this kind of you that is causing problem. You said jihad means anybody who did not accept Islam should be killed. Please, where did you get it from? Where did you see that is what jihad means? Immediately I was with my phone, I quickly browsed what is the meaning of jihad. It now showed me that jihad means to strike. I said, where is it written now that they should go and kill somebody who is not a Muslim? Unfortunately, this is what many Orientalists, these Western scholars, this is how they are defining Islam for us. To mean that jihad means anybody who is not a Muslim, go and kill that person. It is a lie. Capital N-O. It is a lie. That is not jihad. In fact, when we explain jihad today, you will understand that in fact, there is no sensible person who is not supposed to perform jihad. In fact, it is either you are performing jihad in the right way or you are performing jihad in the wrong way. There is no person who is not performing jihad. All of us, we are performing jihad. And there is no right sensible person who will go against jihad if it is explained to him. In fact, during the time when jihad was moving, the non-Muslims were entering the land of Islam because of the justice they found in the land of Islam that they could not find in the land of their kufr. What is happening in Nigeria today? Did anybody like it? Are you enjoying it? Is anybody enjoying what is happening in Nigeria? This is democracy that was imported to Nigeria. And it is the problem between you and I. It is not Tinubu. You know, we thought that it was Buhari, he was Baba Goslo, Abi. He was Baba Goslo, according to what some people say. Then this one came, the very first day in his office, he removed fuel subsidy. Baba Sharp Sharp. Now, Baba Sharp Sharp is not also working now. We have tested Baba Goslo, we have tested Baba Sharp Sharp, even Jonathan, we have tested him. Nothing is working. Do you know why it is not working? They are not the problem. They are giving manual to follow, and they cannot go more than that manual. And that manual is deficient. That manual is deficient. No matter how a professor is, if you give him a syllabus to teach, a wrong syllabus to teach, he will, and you tell him that please follow this syllabus, and he follows that syllabus, he will still produce quack students. Is that not what will happen? The same thing is happening to us in this country. So even if this man should spend 8 years, it is not a cost. Nothing will change. You can see they have taken our light again now. It is not a cost. Nothing will change. Because the problem is not him. He is not the one. The problem is the system. The system is not Islamic. At the time when the system was Islamic, everywhere was okay. Despite that, the fact that Nigeria is still as it is now, go to the far north. They find life very easier than what we are finding difficult here today. Do you know why? Because those people in the far north, they still have element of faith in them. They have element of faith in them. Even their leaders have element of faith in them compared to their counterpart who are far in the what? In the west or in the east. They have element of faith. They make sure that things are easy for their what? For their people. You can be in the north, you will be receiving fertilizer if you are a farmer. Whatever work you are doing, if you are a trader, you will be given some money to assist you in your trading. But if you give it to these other people, because of Iman has been uprooted from the society, then they will not give it to the people. This is what is happening. Nigeria is not poor. Even him that is on top, that is number one, the president I'm talking about, the money he has, even if he doesn't want to touch Nigeria money, it is enough for him to feed Nigeria. If he is sincere, then he should start feeding Nigeria. Why can't he even sacrifice his salary? Let us hear that his salary has been sacrificed and he's taking care of a particular school. And we know that that is where his salary is going. Will he become poor if he do that? Do you know why they will not do that? Because the system encourages corruption. And that is why it is our wish. It is our wish that Allah raise one man who will come and clean this mess. Allah has done it before in the person of Usman Danfodio. And we are still hoping that Allah will still send another man again who will be able to clear this mess that we found ourselves in. And anybody who stands in the way of cleaning this mess will be removed, because we want our life to be better. And our life cannot be better in a place where Bobrisky, the like of Bobrisky, are now the face of the association of the movie actress, women who are doing movie. And at the end of the day, they now gave Bobrisky as the winner. He's the winner of the female actress that can dress very well. Do you know? Some of you do not know who is Bobrisky. Bobrisky is a man, and he wants to turn himself into a woman. For that reason, he begins to dress like a woman. Now, upon all these makeups that our women are doing, all this nyanga that our women are doing, they could not win Bobrisky. This is the society we found ourselves in. And you tell me that jihad is bad? How can jihad be bad? In fact, we are more in need of jihad to clear these evil people away, so that life will be easier for me and you. But do you know what? The evil people will not fold their arms watching. they are going to mount their own offense. They will never allow it, because they want to continue suppressing the people. They want to continue suppressing the people. Now, what is the meaning of jihad? So that wherever you are, they ask you what is jihad, then you should understand the meaning of jihad. Jihad means huwa istifragul was'u wa taqat wa tahammulul mashaqqa wa sabr alayha fi da'wati ila Allah ta'ala hasbi ma yaktadihi halul mudawwi min al-hujja wal bayan wa bazl al-amwal aw al-muharabatu bis-sayf was-sinan wa bi kulli ma yumkin an yujahid bihi fi kulli makan wa zaman kullu zalika mubayyinun fi kitabi wa sunnah ahsan al-bayan. The meaning of jihad is for you to expend your effort and your energy wa tahammul al-mashaqqa, and to endure difficulties and sabr, patience, upon what? Inviting people to the path of Allah. Jihad means for you to strive in inviting people to the path of Allah. This is the meaning of jihad. Hasbi ma yaktadihi halul mud'a min al-hujja. Then you will do it in accordance to what is required of you to sort out that problem. For example, a child whom is your own child in the house, if he's going to touch fire, sometimes what is enough for you to just tell him is, Khuzaymah, live there. He will understand you. Is that not so? Sometimes you don't even need to shout. All you just need to do is to use eyes to communicate. He will live there. Is that not so? Sometimes you have to go more than that and spank his bum in order to what? Leave that particular place. Is that not what happened? Do you hate that child or you love the child? You love him. You don't want harm for that particular child, even though you are beating the child and the child is receiving pain. Will anybody blame you for doing what you are doing? Nobody. That is jihad you are doing. That is jihad you are doing. We are still going to explain further. So jihad is for you to what? Invite to the way of Allah, and you use it based on the instant, the circumstances that call for it, by using hujjah. Presenting your evidences is jihad. Wal bayan, making clarification, as we are doing now, it is jihad. Wal bayan, wa bazl al amwal, even spending, sacrificing your wealth. For example, we want to do something and we said everybody should pay 1,000. Immediately everybody begin to do. What is that? That is jihad. That is jihad. Is that not the reason why Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Hal adullukum ala tijaratin tunjikum min azabin alim tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi wa tujahiduna fi sabilillahi bi amwalikum wa anfusikum. So you do jihad with your wealth and also with your own self. Our muharaba to be safe. It is also part of jihad that we go and engage in physical combat. It is part of it. Wasinan, and using sword and spear. In this time there is no sword and spear. What we use, you use bullets, you use bazooka, you use all the machine that you know. The Muslims, it is also within their own right to use it as well. We must understand that. وَبِكُلِّ مَا يُمْكِنْ أَنْ يُجَاهِدْ بِهِ فِي كُلِّ مَكَانٍ وَالزَّمَانٍ, and everything that is possible for them to use in fighting, in performing this jihad in every place and in every time. Bimana, sometimes you will use hujjah here, sometimes you will use bayan here, sometimes you will use bazlul amwal. It is only your wealth that is needed in some places. Sometimes you need to preach, sometimes you need to frown and be very harsh, sometimes you need to actually slap the hell out of somebody. Yes. If you think that the menace in the society can be curbed only by preaching, you are a liar. If that is the case, why do we have police? Why do we have military? If only preaching, have you ever seen soldiers go out to somebody and begin to preach to somebody? They don't do that. Because they keep them there so that there are some evil in the society that cannot be corrected by mouth. What is needed is to what? Is fire for fire. You go and meet armed robber who is in action. Armed robber in action. Bandits in action. And soldier will continue to say, Inna alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inu. You will not even finish to the end, they will kill you. They will kill you. What you just need is what? Is to engage. Because there are menace in the society which needs to be cleared away. And the only way you can clear them is not by mouth. That one will not work. So the one that you will work at that time is for you to engage them physically. This is jihad. All of this has been explained in the Quran and the Sunnah in the best way of explanation. But unfortunately, the Orientalists have entered Islam and they are now the one defining jihad for us. To the point that Muslims don't even know what is jihad. Some of the Muslims today understood jihad to mean that anybody who is not a Muslim kill the person. Unfortunately, some Muslims believe that. So that when they see any non-Muslim going around, they say, look at dead body going. Look at dead body. The only thing you just need now is just to choke him. This kind of mentality is, it is the Orientalists that have actually put that mentality in some Muslims. And they bought it. They bought it and they are working with it. And unfortunately, they give us the rest bad names. They give us bad names. We are still going to understand what jihad is, the necessity of jihad today. So that you will tell me at the end of the day whether jihad is good or not good. Now, as for Sunnah, the Prophet Islam said, Jahidu. Now, in the Quran first, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Wajahidu fillahi haqqa jihadi. Suratul Hajj. Allah said, perform jihad in the path of Allah the way you need to strive. At your utmost best, strive in the path of Allah. Allah Azza wa Jalla also mentioned in Suratul Furqan, He said, Wajahiduhum bihi jihadan kabira. You should strive against them, perform jihad against them, a great jihad. Suratul Furqan was revealed in Makkah. Allah Azza wa Jalla did not give permission to fight in Makkah. So which jihad was Allah talking about here? Allah Azza wa Jalla was talking about Quran. Fight them with the Quran. The greatest weapon, the greatest miracle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the Quran. The powerful Quran. That is why after they saw everything they could not defeat the Muslims, they said the only way they have come about to defeat the Muslims is to take the Quran away from them. Or if you cannot take it away from them, take them away from the Quran. Do you get that? You either take the Quran away from them or take them away from the Quran, and they are already doing it. How do they take the Quran away from us? They are already producing different versions of the Quran today. Or you are not aware? Go to internet, there are different versions of Quran today. They will tell you this is a holy Quran, but you don't know they have changed it. And they are producing it to people, giving people free of charge, without you buying it. But Alhamdulillah, Allah Azza wa Jalla has promised to protect His Quran. And how did they take us away from the Quran? They engage us, preoccupy us with different things. That Muslims today, count 100 Muslims like this. You can hardly pick 5 that can read Quran perfectly. And it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother him. Didn't we see? They now introduce Boko. Western Boko. They introduce it because of English. People now leave Islamic study, Islamic cycle. Initially what we used to know is karatu. In the olden days, even some will even tell you that until you know how to read, you cannot go to school. But today what happened? People want to speak English more than they want to speak Arabic. People want their children to be speaking fluent in English more than they can recite the Quran. They spend the whole day in the school and they give only 2 hours for children to read in the Quran. And when they now want to do, they will now bring one man who is so tattered to come and be teaching Ayaruke. So that the children will not even like Ayaruke teacher. When they want to discipline the children, they will call Ayaruke teacher to come and beat. Even him, Kumari, he did not use his own sense. He will come and be beating children. Children will now hate him and they will like that one who talking his shirt with, what's it called? With tie. They say, look at this one is corporate. They will say corporate. If you dress like this, no, it is not corporate. This is how they move us away from the Quran. We are not proud of our Quran again. Stay in the public and be reading the Quran, you will be shy. Say, what are you doing? You are doing like a local man. You are doing like one Hausa. Unyausa, especially when you go to the east, they will be calling you Unyausa. If you dress like this, say Unyausa. You are not proud of your Islam. But what about them? They come to the bus if they are traveling. They don't care whether the people in the bus are Muslim or not Muslim. They say everybody should close their eyes. I was in a bus one day going to Lagos, and they said everybody should close their eyes. This man was wearing cap, mala cap like this, and I assume that he's a Muslim. He also removed his own cap too. This is the level that we have gone. So they move us away from the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, "Wajahidu bi amwalikum wa anfusikum fi sabilillah." He said, perform jihad with your wealth and with your own self, fi sabilillah, Suratul Tawbah. So these are different categories of jihad Allah Azza wa Jalla is mentioning here. In this Suratul Tawbah, Allah Azza wa Jalla was not talking about preaching. Allah was talking about engaging them in physical combat. Suratul Tawbah is revealed in Medina. As for Sunnah, فَقَدْ قَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم جَاهِدُ الْمُشْرِكِينَ بِأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ وَأَلْسِنَتِكُمْ. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, fight, strive against the mushrikun with your wealth, with yourself, and with your tongue. So sometimes what is only needed is your tongue. Sometimes what is only needed is your money. And sometimes what is needed is your own self. You need to, expend that energy in you in the path of Allah. Rawahu Abu Dawud wa Nasai wa Ahmad. So from here, نعرف أن الجهاد في مدلول الشرع أعم من أن يكون قتالا. From here we get to know that jihad, as proven in the Sharia, is more encompassing than qital. There is difference between jihad and qital. Jihad is a general word, and qital is part of jihad. I hope you are getting that. Kama fahimuhu ba'du ahli al-ilm. As some of the ahli al-ilm understood it. Mimma ja'ala al-mustashrikina yanaluna min al-islam bisababihi. The mustashrikun, those are the Orientalists. I told you the Orientalists, they are the one, you go to the internet, they will be the one to be telling us what Islam is all about. Some of the IRUK they are teaching in primary school and secondary school, they are Orientalists, they are the one that wrote it down. There is one I was reading one time, he said that mubtilatul wudu, those things that what invalidate wudu. Do you know what he said? He said if you talk in wudu, if you talk while you are performing ablution, your ablution has already gone. And they are teaching it to children. Where did they see it from? I don't know. The Orientalists. So they are the one who has carved this meaning, this definition for the Muslims, and unfortunately, the Muslims fell into it. Hatta even some of the ulama begin to think that whenever they say jihad, it actually means qital. No, jihad is encompassing, is a general word that encompasses a lot of things, and qital is part of it. Bal al-qital ba'du anwa'ul jihad. Qital, fighting, physical fighting, is only part of the different types of jihad. وَلَا يَسْتَعْمِلُ إِلَّا إِنْ الضَّرُورَةِ وَالْإِضْطِرَارُ إِلَيْهِ. You will not use that of qital, you will not resort to fighting, I mean physical fighting, illa in the darura, except at the time of necessity. I hope you are understanding this. Except at the time of necessity, or you are being pushed to fight. Kalika ilaj. He said it is just like ilaj. You know ilaj? That is healing, cure. Wa akbaru shahid ala dhalika wasiyatu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam li amir al-jaysh. He said that what will prove what we have just mentioned, that qital, fighting, is not the first resort. Going to fight the disbelievers is not the first option, but only in necessity will you fight. Only if you are being pushed will you have to fight. It is indicated in the advice that the Prophet ﷺ was giving to the commander of the Sharia, that is the battalion, the army he sent out to go and fight. What did he tell them? He said, وَإِذَا لَقِيتَ عَدُوَّكَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ فَادْعُوهُمْ إِلَى ثَلَاثِ حِصَالٍ. He said, when you meet your enemy from the mushrikun, if you meet them, call them to 3 things. Even when he is sending them to go and battle. The Prophet Islam is still saying that not until when you just see your enemy, you begin to fight them. No, that is not Islam. You just go to somewhere, you throw bomb there, everybody die, and you say, Allahu Akbar, that is jihad. No. He said, when you meet them, call them to 3 things. فَأَيَّتُهُنَّ مَا أَجَابُوكَ فَاقْبَلْ مِنْهُمْ. Whatever answer they give you among the 3, accept it from them. وَكَفْ عَنْهُمْ, and retrieve your hand from harming them. فَإِنْهُمْ أَبَوْا, but if they refuse any of the options that you have given them, وَاسْتَئِنْ بِاللَّهِ وَقَاتِلْهُمْ, then you should seek the assistance of Allah and fight them. This is reported in Sahih Muslim. So we have seen here that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is not as people have depicted him, have portrayed him, that he is a prophet of what? He is a prophet of fighting, war. No. Even at the time of war, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam is still saying, when you are about to engage them, give them 3 options. If they choose any of it, then take it from them. But if they say no, then seek Allah's assistance and what? And engage them. He said again, وَنُلَيِّزْ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْوَصِيَّةِ النَّبَوِيَّةِ, we observe from this wasiyah of the Prophet, أَنَّ دَعْوَةُ كُفَارِ إِلَى اللَّهِ بِالْهُجَّةِ وَالْبَيَانِ مُقَدِّمَةٌ دَائِمًا عَلَى دَعْوَةِ بِالسَّيْفِ وَالسِّنَانِ. We have seen it here that inviting the unbelievers to Allah Azza wa Jalla to come and accept Islam with hujjah, with bayan, with clarifying Islam to them, it supersedes, it is in front always than inviting them with what? With sword. At the gunpoint. وَمِنْ هُنَا صَارَ الْقِتَالَ حَسَنًا. He said from here we will see that jihad is actually a nice concept. It's a nice principle. فِي نَظَرُ الْأُقَلَى, in the eyes of the person who is intelligent. But the person who is not intelligent, no matter how you explain jihad for him, he will tell you that it is still wrong. أَقْصُ مَا يُسَوِّرُهُ أَعْدَاءِ الْإِسْلَامِ مِنَ الْهَمْجِيَّةِ وَالْوَحْشِيَّةِ. Unlike the opposite of what the enemies of Islam has portrayed Islam, or has portrayed Islam to be. That the Islam has a concept called jihad, and it is barbaric, it is brutal. They are the one doing it. The people who have carried out crusade, massacre in this dunya, if you begin to name them, you will not even see a Muslim name inside. You will be mentioning Adolf Hitler. Is that not so? You'll be mentioning Adolf Hitler. As we are also having Ariel Sharon there. The prime minister of who? Of Israel before. Then the one that is there now is one? Benjamin Netanyahu. May Allah Azza wa Jalla deal with him. Killing children, killing women. No rules of engagement. Even in jihad, even when the fight starts, you do not kill children in Islam. You do not kill women in Islam. You don't touch houses of worship. Bimana, you don't touch churches. Even in jihad, you don't bomb churches in jihad. Even when Muslims and Christians were to even engage for whatever reason, you do not touch churches. That is Islam. وَلَمْ يَدْرُوا أَنَّهُ إِلَاجُ لِلْفَرْدِ وَالْمُجْتَمِعِ. He said they do not even know that jihad is actually a cure to individuals in the society as well as collectively. It is a healing to the society. How? وَيُعَلِّجُ الْفَرْدُ بِأَنْ يَخْرُجُهُ مِنْ مَرْدِهِ الْكُفْرِ إِلَى آفِيَةِ الْإِسْلَامِ. When we perform jihad, we are actually trying to cure that individual by removing him from the sickness of kufr that he is inside, to the healthiness, to the safety of Islam. We are pulling him from darkness to light. Is that not what we are doing when we perform jihad? Some time ago, we went for street dawah. What are we doing? Jihad. And what are we doing there? We are trying to clarify the truth to them. Perhaps they will accept Islam. Perhaps they will be cleared of any misconception they have regarding Islam. So what are you doing now? You are solving the societal ill. You are solving the sickness of that individual in the society. وَالْكُفْرُ أَكْبَرُ مَرَضٍ مُدْمِرُ الْإِنسَانِيَّةِ. Kufr is the greatest disease that somebody will have. Is the greatest disease, destructive disease that can affect humanity. I wish people even know that kufr is more than coronavirus. You see the way people were scared of coronavirus, that if somebody should even chill, you see everybody running away from him. They go and isolate that person in isolation center. Is that not how it is? Why? Because they know that this person is having sickness now, and they don't want the sickness to escalate, to spread. The same way, kufr is even more than coronavirus. When somebody is having kufr, what we need to do is to treat him. We need to treat him and cure him from his kufr. You understand? So that he will not come and affect the society. So when you leave kufr in the society, what happens? It becomes greater. Wal Islam huwa shifa'u tam. And Islam is the cure, is the perfect cure for kufr. Is the perfect cure for kufr. Wa yu'aliju al-mujtami min haythu qat'u al-madat al-fasad. And Islam, jihad, will also cure the society, the general society, in a way of uprooting evil from spreading, uprooting corruption from spreading, was zulm fil mujtami, and not allowing zulm, that is oppression, to remain in the community. Wa tarkul kafir ala kufrihi taksir al kuffar. If you leave the kufr, if you leave a kafir, a disbeliever, upon his kufr, it will make the kuffar to have numbers. Wa takwiyatu lahum, and it will make them to be having power. Wahum aslu fasad al-ard. This is the basis of the corruption of the earth. It is as a result of the kufr that is widespread, that is allowed to spread. That is why corruption persists today. Wa mansha zulm, it is actually the origin of zulm today. It's the origin of zulm. In fact, the reason why me and you is suffering is because of the kufr system that we are using, democracy. We are still going. He said, وَسَبَبُ إِرْتِفَاءُ الطُّمَانِينَ مِنْ أَمَّارِ الْأَرْضِ. It is the reason why there is no safety. There is no safety in the land. As we are still speaking today, go to some places. I was watching a video today. They said it is from Indonesia. In parts of Indonesia, or rather in Indonesia, they are Muslim populated country. And they observe Sharia in their own way to some level. Whenever they are coming to lecture like this, they have a place where they drop their phone. I don't know whether I sent it to the platform. Maybe I'll still look for it and I'll send it to the platform. Everybody drop their phone on a particular place. Do you know what Nigerian people were commenting? They say, I wish this is in Nigeria. Do you know what they mean? So that they can come and watch packed phone. They will come and be exchanging their phone there. Is it not in Nigeria? Somebody will come to the mosque to come and pray. When he is going, he will pick another shoe and be going. He will pick another shoe and be going. Do you know why they have mind to drop their phone like that and just leave it and be going to classes? It's because the system is working. If you are caught stealing, one of your hand gone. When people know that when you steal, one of your hand is gone, they will stop stealing. Because it is, even after then, your hand has already gone, people will know that it's because you stole. That is why your hand was cut off. But today what happened? You steal, and if you have money, they take you to prison. If you have money, you work your way back, take from the money you stole to hire any lawyer, and they'll go and defend lie in the court. Is that not what happened? That is the corrupt system we are living. We now, the thieves, it is the thieves that they are now made the leader. The thieves that are supposed to be rotting in jail, they will gather all this money. When you actually look at the way they spend money, you will really be surprised. What business are they doing that they have this kind of money? They are criminals. Unfortunately, the constitution will even provide a space for them to commit crime. They will call them immunity. In Islam, there's nothing like immunity. Anybody misbehave, whether you are a governor, you will be what? You will be punished. But in their own system, what did they say? If you are a chairman or you are a whatever, then there's what they call immunity. Immunity covers you to misbehave. So even if you steal, EFCC cannot touch you until after 8 years you leave. Then they will now be doing like boy following you around. And if you still have your money, you will deal with them. Is that not what is happening in this country? That is why me and you, we are receiving the ending result of it. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make us to understand the concept of jihad. But unfortunately, when they mention jihad, some Muslims are even shy. They are shy of recognizing that jihad is part of the Quran. If you like, anyhow you want to think, jihad is part of our Aqidah. It is part of what we believe. It's because there is no jihad, that is why there is no safety. Look at insecurity everywhere. No safety. In those days when Hausa people, the Hausa land, were still very, very safe and they were still having element of Iman in their society, you can go and pray and leave your shop open and nothing will touch it. Because Islam, Iman is there in the society. In some countries up to today, you can leave your shop and go and do whatever you want to do. And you still come back and meet it the way you want. Nobody will touch anything. But don't try it in the land of Kufr. Because they don't even have Iman. The one that is even, you still even lock myself. They are still opening the door to come and take it. وَلَا يَتَمَكَّنِ الْمُجْتَمِعِ الْإِسْلَامِي مِنْ إِقَامَةِ شَعَائِرِ اللَّهِ. He said that the Islamic society, it will not be possible for them to observe the sha'airullah, the symbols of Allah in the land of Allah. All land belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal. If you do not perform jihad, a time will even come that they will stop you from even calling prayer. They will tell you that your calling prayer is disturbing them. Reduce your volume. A time will even come, if you do not perform jihad, to even pray in the public will become difficult. A brother went to Imo State. He's in Imo State of Port Harcourt. And he is now calling me that can he go and pray inside the bush? Or can he pray inside a place where they are serving alcohol? If you go inside the bush now and they see you praying, they say, Boko Haram has come to the east. It's better you just sit down, stay where they are performing alcohol. Now they now say, if you are also staying there, they will not be looking at it. What is this one doing? You can see. That is the land of Allah Azza wa Jal. So you will not be able to get all what I'm saying, illa bi izalati, except you remove kufr. You have to remove it. وَكَسَّرَ شَوْكَتَهُمْ. You have to break their power. وَمِثْلُ الْكَافِرِ فِي الْمُجْتَمِعِ الْإِنسَانِي كَمِثْلُ أَضْوَى مِنْ أَعْضَاءِ الْإِنسَانِ مَصَابَ بِمَرْضٍ. He said the example of a kafir in the society is like any part of your body. Is like a part of your body in your whole body that is now affected with what disease. فَإِنْ أَمْكَنَ إِلَاجَ هَذَا الْعَدُوِ بِالدُّهَانِ الْمُرْهَمِ أَوْ كَيْهِ نَارٍ فَلَا يَتَجَاوَزْ إِلَى غَيْرِهِ. He said if it is possible, for example, this man is having problem on this, he's not having problem. I'm saying example. If he's having issue on this finger now, if it is possible to cure it by rubbing ointment, cream, you understand, or using this system called cauterization. You know cauterization, where they use fire to mend something. Our people in the village normally do that. They will use fire, put some iron inside fire. After they remove it very hot, they will put it very close to where it is already affected. They will be warming it. You people do not understand? They will, sometimes you will see them talk in Marcel, those old people. They are, when am I saying that? You understand? Now, if you can be able to do that and it will cure, then there is no need for you to go more than that. I hope I'm trying to give us example of jihad here. وَإِنْ هِفَ تَعْدِ الْمَرَضِ إِلَى سَائِرِ الْأَعْضَائِهِ فَلَا بُدَّ مِنْ إِزَالَتِهِ. If we feel that this particular sickness that is affecting here now is going to spread to the other part of the body, what should we do? We cut it off. Is that not what we do? We cut it off so that it will not what? So that it will not spread. So that it will not spread. That is why sometimes when, sorry that I'm using your hand. So that is why sometimes when what is it called? Is it scorpion or snake bite somebody? What do? Immediately they will tie somewhere here so that it will not spread. Then they will not cut and let out blood to flow. So if it can be stopped there, then you don't have to go more than that. But if it is going to spread like cancer, you know cancer? Sometimes they say somebody is having cancer of the breast. They will go and remove the breast. Sometimes they say somebody is having diabetes and they have to go and remove the leg completely. Is that not what used to happen? Because if you do not remove it, it can spread and that person may die and may not survive it. So that when you remove it, other places can be what? Can be safe. Other places can be safe. Ma anna fi izalatihi alaman shadidan lil mard. Despite the fact that as we are going to be cutting off the hand as a result of the fact we don't want it to spread, it is going to cause harm to him that we are removing it from. He's going to be shouting. Sometimes you go to the doctor and you have injury and doctor is attending to your injury. You will be shouting. Will doctor now say because you are shouting he will leave you? He will not leave you. He will continue giving you injection like Abu Muslim used to do. He said that wahaz al-fi'l hasan. This is a very good practice. Bal wajibun wa muta'ayyan inda jamil uqala. He said that this is even compulsory. It is compulsory that everyone who has sense, this is what they should do. That when something is affecting you in your body and you do not have any way other than removing it, then that is what you do. Everybody understand. Wala ahadu min al-bashar yaqul. There is no one who will say has a tajdidu fil ilaj, that this is too harsh. How will you go and cut somebody's leg? Like they cut Mr. Ibu's leg the other time. He even come out and announce it that they are going to cut off his leg. And he still later died. Perhaps the sickness that happened to him, if they did not cut off that leg, it will spread. So even as they were cutting the leg, it pains him. Is that not so? But they have to cut it. Some of our women who give birth through operation, they cut off their what? They open their stomach. Even though it is painful, but you have to what? Endure. So that the greater harm will be avoided. Is that not so? So he said that you will not say that this person is too brutal in dealing with people. You will not face a doctor and say this doctor lack mercy. How can you say a doctor lack mercy when he's trying to cure you from your disease? This is the same thing with fighting in Islam. This is what it means. If you hate jihad, if you say jihad is not good, then you should also hate what we have just described here. You should also say that there shouldn't be anything like cutting off leg or cutting off breast in the name of cancer. Imam Bukhari, this is where we stop today. We could not continue. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, he said, Al-Qitalu shara li-daf'i nashr al-khufra min an ahl al-Islam. He said, Qital is legislated in order to defend the evil of kufr from the people of Islam. Is hum a'da'uddin Allah. Because they are the enemies of the religion of Allah. فَإِنْ أَمْكَنَ الدَّفُ بِدُونِ الْقِتَالِ. If we can actually defend kufr and remove kufr without fighting, لَا يَتَسَرَّ إِلَى الْقِتَالِ. We will not rush to fighting anybody. This is what Imam Bukhari said. وَإِلَّا فَهِينَئِذٍ تَقَدَّمْ عَلَى الْقِتَالِ. But if we cannot remove it, and there is no any other way that we can remove this kufr, then we will march forward to what? To fighting the menace in the society. For example, we have one in the society here that people who are walking in the middle of the night, they should repent to Allah. They should not be stealing in the middle of the night. We have preached and they did not stop. They are still doing their Mugabe. Then we now select some of us to be supervising the night as a vigilante. And anyone we caught, then we will see what we will do with that person. Maybe we will buy the person a car. هذه هو الجهاد في الإسلام. This is jihad in Islam. وهكذا فهمه المسلمون الأولون. This is how the previous Muslim, the first Muslim understood jihad. وقاموا به حق القيام, and they stood upon it in the best way of standing. They did not begin to have differences. Unlike today, we now see some people even say that there is no more jihad again. Who told you? Which Islam are you practicing? Some people, they want to make Islam so beautiful that they want to what? See, Islam is already beautiful. Allah doesn't need you to beautify it the more. Something that is already beautiful, when you want to beautify it the more, what will now happen? You will make it to a war. Islam is already beautiful. Stop sugarcoating it. Say whatever it is. That is how Allah wants it to be done. It is not your religion. It is Allah's religion. As it is like this, I cannot be seeing A here and I will be saying it is B. But unfortunately, this is what some people will do. They will be lying. And they know that they are lying. Inshallah, we are going to stop here. Tomorrow, we are going to look at, is there anything called offensive jihad or defensive jihad? What is the meaning of offensive jihad and defensive jihad? Then we will also talk about, inshallah, tomorrow, what used to brought about jihad and what are the stages of jihad, so that if you have not reached a particular stage and you rush to it, whatever you see there, you carry it. Islam, jihad has stages, just like salat has stages. You cannot come out, you just want to come and pray, you just come and stand and you are praying. It has shurut. First of all, you have to go and wee-wee. You go to the toilet to clean your body. Then after that, perform ablution. After that, you will have to wait. Let the muazzin call prayer. When the muazzin call prayer, you now come to the mosque. The imam will now come out. The imam will come and say, "Oh, let us pray." You will now pray. If you do it other than the way we have said it, you have your own kind of prayer that we have not understood. The same way with jihad, it is an act of ibadah and it must be done in the way that Allah has legislated. Not for you to just carry gun because you don't have gun now. You now be telling everybody, "Oh yeah, come, let us go and fight." You and who? Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.